Hey, folks, I'm probably going to ruffle little feathers on this one, or it's a hot topic for sure. Um, and we're talking about flock cameras. And I know recently it's been in the news. It's real popular here lately with people um, cutting them down and destroying them, or saying, "Hey, get them out of our neighborhood." And yeah, let's be clear, I do support law enforcement. So before you skip, scroll, um, hey, I want criminals caught. I want them off the street. Hey, if there's a missing child or, abduction, stolen vehicles, yeah, go find them. You want dangerous peoples off the street. And I get that. But I can see where people would be upset too, arguing that, that they're upset about, it might be a violation of their Fourth Amendment rights. And they knew the freedom doesn't disappear overnight. It disappears over one reasonable exception at a time, if that makes sense. And I get people there's out there, well, I have nothing to be, I don't have anything to hide. I'm not worried about anything. But see, I get that too. I don't either. But if you have those flock cameras on constantly monitoring you all the time, they're collecting information. What happens to that data? You know, who collects it, who saves it, and they usually retain it for 30 days at least. And other companies access that. Are they selling my data? You know, so where's the data? Who's keeping it? Who's storing it? And what are they doing with it? So I get why people can be upset, and it comes at a cost. They always deem it as for your safety. But how much of are we going to let let our freedoms go or slip in the name of safety? And I get it. It's a double-edged sword, because this is a very, very slippery slope. Because yes, we want to live, we want to be safe. We definitely want criminals off the street, but at what cost? What are you willing to sacrifice? Or why can't you just, hey, if you're reasonable cause or suspicion, or if yes, then investigate, proper channels, warrant. But I understand a lot of times you can't do that, because a car just got stolen, man. It took off down there, and they could be in another state. So, I mean, or yeah, kid's just been kidnapped, and you got so many hours to track them down and find them. And it's like, so I can see where flock cameras come in handy. And for those of you who don't know what a flock camera is, it's basically a license plate reader. It reads your license plate, and it's connected to several states all across the country. So they could easily say, hey, well, we noticed you were in this state a couple weeks ago, or we noticed that you're last seen in this area going down the highway. Even in my state, North Carolina, they just recently passed, I think it was last week, a bill that now allows flock cameras on the interstate. Yeah, okay, I get it. So yeah, the criminal's trying to run, and they need to find out where the criminal's going. I get it. Do you need to watch me 24/7 because I'm going to Walmart? Do you need to know my patterns? And do you constantly need to monitor me where I'm going? I can see where people, oh, I got nothing to hide. Don't bother me. I don't care if you know where I'm going. I'm going to Walmart to spend money. I get it. But, you know, and every surveillance program always starts as a temporarily, or for a good reason. I understand, for 9/11, we needed to start that, monitor, terrorist cells, terrorist organizations here at home. But, and it's always going to be, we're going to use it for limited circumstances only. but then more cameras show up. I think one city has a couple of hundred, and I forget how many total there is across the United States. But it always starts off as a little bit, hey, we're just going to limit just a little bit, and then there's more, and then there's more. And then it becomes, and then more agencies get access to them. And they're going to share, we're going to share it with the State Bureau. We're going to share it with the FBI. We're going to share it with, and then pretty soon, who knows where your data is if you are an innocent. Now, if you're a criminal, yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, you broke the law. Find you. And sometimes it can be used too for silver alerts for senior citizens that get dementia or Alzheimer's and they disappear. So I don't know, but it just, all those little circumstances or little limited circumstances turned into, gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And next thing you know, those limited becomes, those extraordinary or certain circumstances become normal. And then what's normal? Or what do we consider? I mean, so it's definitely a delicate situation. I can see why some people are upset and they feel it's definitely an invasion of their privacy and Fourth Amendment. But at the same time, hey, you want your stolen property back, or you want those criminal that broke into your house and hurt someone? Do you want them caught? They fled on in a vehicle, or somebody's been kidnapped, or especially a child. You want to find them as quickly as possible. So I get that. It's definitely a delicate situation or a hot topic right now. So what do you do? And what's considered overreach? Again, how much are you willing to sacrifice for safety? And I'd say, well, if I got nothing to hide, I know you shouldn't worry about it. If you're not committing a crime, you're not worried about it. And some people's like, okay, well, if I'm not, then why do you have to monitor? And they may have to keep them on so they can catch it at an instant. So there's several lawsuits, and I believe, I'll grab my notes here, because a lot of people, they consider it mass surveillance, and I get that. But there's already over 70 cities that have currently canceled or rejected or deactivated their flock cameras because people are just really upset. And they figure it's either police state, they're creating a police state, or a government overreach. There's lawsuits taking place in Virginia, over 170 plus cameras. San Jose, California, there's hundreds of cameras. All of them challenging under the Fourth Amendment and stronger privacy protections. And then there's reports of officers even abusing the flock cameras and getting into getting into the system and stalking individuals. And there again, somebody's personal information that didn't commit a crime. So what do we do, peasants? What do we do? I mean, gosh, this is a tough one. I can see why it's a big controversy. Like I said, I support law enforcement catching the criminals, get them off the street, especially in an abduction, kidnapping, or if somebody's committed a crime, murder or something, and they're fled at, on a robbery, yeah, you want them caught. Does it need to be on or monitor me going to my grocery store, to Walmart, shopping? And what are you doing with the data for the innocent? That's, I guess, the key takeaway, the key question that I have. But let me know what you think in the comments, how you feel about flock cameras, and take care. I'll see you on the next one.